Hello, folks. I am online yet again. Um, again, I'm thinking that my chat should pull up here in just a second. So we will see if anybody did get the notification. Hopefully, I actually did it tonight. I tried to do show early and um, or set it up to send notifications out early, but I do not know if that went out. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, I am Rod with Win by Doing. I'm a part-time reseller. I have a full-time job, and we own an ice cream business. If you see me bounce around chat, you'll also hear or read comments from other uh, folks that regularly join chat talking about ice cream. I'm the guy that they're sending those messages to, hoping that I can magically teleport a bomb pop, a drumstick, or a SpongeBob popsicle their way. But until I get the drones that'll fly and maintain a sub-freezing temperature, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes to see if anybody jumps in. I just want to make sure that I have everything set up. And I didn't even bring my phone down here. But anyway, that is where we are. And I guess I should make sure that I actually did do this public instead of private, because I have been known to do that. Set up private shows where only I'm the one that gets to see it. So anyway, it looks like I am the only one watching. Let me text the cat just to make sure. Give me just a second. And make sure I may actually be taking up somebody else's time slot. But I just want to double check, make sure. And I do not even have my phone. Oh, there it is. So anyway, let me sit back down here. I want to text Kat real quick, just make sure that she can see me and make sure the stream looks and sounds good before I go any farther. Today is a Thursday night. I don't know who's typically on Thursday nights. It looks like Liquidation Ohio's on. Okay. Anyway, many of you know I do primarily sell on eBay. Just to touch real quick, I actually did stop. Hey, Chadwack, thanks for jumping in. This week, I cut off all ties to Poshmark and Etsy. It just wasn't for me, doing this part-time, outside of my full-time job. I looked at the numbers, as far as traffic goes, and I don't think that people are going to Etsy primarily for vintage stuff. I think that oh, there's Kat. Thank you for jumping in. Let me know that. Hopefully, you guys can see and hear me okay. But I think that still, for vintage items, I think people's primary stop is going to be eBay, and if they can't find it on eBay, hello, Cindy Rosa, and thanks for jumping in. I think that they will go to Etsy if they can't find it on eBay. I honestly don't believe, and I have nothing to support this. I don't have any data to support this, but I honestly think that Etsy would be a secondary choice. But I did cut ties with both Etsy and Poshmark just for that reason alone, traffic. And if you haven't caught the video I just put out this week, I kind of laid out some numbers, and I'm going to be honest with you. When I was just trying to think of the numbers right on the fly as I was driving my truck, I did not get those numbers completely accurate, but I did try to flash the actual numbers down to down on the bottom of the screen. So it's kind of, you're gonna have to, it's an interactive video. You're gonna have to read some to get everything out of it. Hey, Red Nickerson Resales. Um, you had a great haul today. Did you go live? I saw you were going to plan on it, or I didn't know if that was yesterday or today, but I will definitely be checking that out if you did put it online. And Chadwick eBay only as well. You know, the other things, I wasn't cross posting anything between the three. That burned me about a year ago when I actually sold an item on Etsy and I did not remove the listing from eBay, so I took a hit on that. So I quit cross posting. I think that if you're going to use the multiple platforms, I don't know how much lift you're going to get off those other platforms by cross listing. I think posting items specific for those different platforms is probably your best bet. Spread your product line against multiple platforms, but that's just my own personal recommendation. I tried it. I gave it the old college try, and I just decided it was just too much of a headache to try to keep up with all the platforms and the notifications from the other two. I wasn't getting them, as noticeable when I did make sales. So there you go. I cut ties with everything but eBay. And y'all know that I am a big eBay cheerleader anyway. Um, Even though I know there are issues, I'm not going to say they're not. I think right for this, especially for this type of stuff that I do, I think it is the best platform out there for me. I do still dabble in Amazon. And I still do a little bit. I have shirt designs out there on Merch by Amazon, and I'm selling probably a shirt every 2 weeks. Nothing major. I do think that's a pretty good deal to get into if you have the time to put into it. I just don't have enough time to invest in coming up with designs. Red Neckersons, I do eBay and local only. If I only figure out how to go live on YouTube, you can get in trouble cross posting if you're not attentive. Yes, I do agree with that. Are you local selling too, i.e., Facebook, Craigslist, OfferUp? I do put things up on Facebook, and I right now I have all my grow lights on Craigslist, Facebook, Marketplace, and local Facebook groups. Actually, I didn't do local. I did it on Marketplace and Craigslist. That's just because they're so large. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be based on your community. I'm sorry. I get a lot of, hey, Glenn, thanks for jumping in. I know it is late out there for probably most of you. So I do appreciate you guys taking the time of your evening and jumping in. But I don't know if I just don't have patience, but I end up dealing with a lot of flakes. I hate when somebody says they're going to show up and they don't show up. I've had people tell me they're on their way, and I head on my way as well, and nobody shows. I sit there for 30 minutes waiting for somebody to show up, hoping they show up. And it might be because I was trying to sell a car then, and maybe it's just like people out there looking at cars. Maybe that's why they're not. Maybe maybe that's a higher margin of flakiness if you're trying to sell a car on local on your Facebook groups. But I just that's the one downside. But I am going to say I have a appliance dolly out there. I have my grow lights. I have just some of the larger items. That's pretty much all I do. I did sell some Guitar Hero guitars at one, but I'm just not completely sold on all these other platforms. Facebook because of the flakiness. Let Go and OfferUp. It's just not that big here. I know people are selling on it, but it's even worse than people. One of the main complaints you hear about eBay is scammers and lowball offers. I mean, you get that on every platform you're in. So, I think that, yeah, I try to be home for a long period. So if no show, oh well. Yeah, and that's there's only very few things that I've listed to pick up here at the house. Hey Barb, thanks for jumping in. But I don't know. I'm still completely sold on eBay, and a lot of stuff that I buy, I'm not going to. Hey, Stony Creek, thanks for jumping in. I The market isn't here locally, and I come from this is a smaller area, and that's going to have a lot to do with it. I think if you're in a higher population, I think you're going to do really well, and there may be just a way of doing the business that I'm not aware of. So anyway, those are my ramblings, and that was completely rambling. I do apologize for that. Hopefully you got a good sense of what I'm doing and why I do on certain platforms and why I don't on others. Last night, it wasn't as big of a haul as I had last week. I didn't fill up my entire truck, probably about halfway. But again, if you earlier in the week, I put something out about I I just bared it all. I showed all the crap that I have and what I'm going to have to go through. I showed you all the room next door where it's a total mess. I've got things listed in there that was supposed to be primarily listing, but somehow when we were moving in, I started moving other boxes of stuff in there along the walls and at the end of my shelves. And I mean, I have stuff. I have a lot of stuff in there that's not listed that hasn't even gone through. I have I had hats in three different places, and half the hats were listed, half of them weren't. And I will tell you, going through and doing an inventory of your, um, if you don't do an inventory of your stuff, I highly recommend it. Within the first half hour, I found two hats that I had listed. They were both identical, so duplicate listings, and I didn't even have the hat. It was there were Washington Cougar hats. I had a Washington Cougar hat, but it wasn't either one of the listings I had listed. So I mean, it's I'm actually saving myself. I think there's probably about 4 or 5 items that I had to remove from my listings because either I couldn't find it right then and there, or I don't have it at all, or I remembered selling it. So basically what I'm doing, I'm doing the label number system on each shelf unit as well as the shelves. And I'm using, this is pretty much what I have. The 21 sheets. Right now I've got 466 items in my store, and I printed them all out. And as I go through here and I find stuff and I'm putting them in a specific location, I'm writing down that location, and I come back in and I'm putting it in that custom label field. I'm putting the shelf unit and the shelf that it's on. And I think that's going to do me a lot better. I know it's going to do better than what I was doing before, but I think that this is going to be a huge step in improving the way I do business. Not just making sure that I have the items that I have listed and I can ship them out, but I can do it in a timely manner. Time that the saying, time is the one commodity that we can never get back. And I'm trying to take some of that time back where I'm not going in and looking for 5 to 10 minutes for one item. Not that that happens on every item, but there are items that happens. I mean, today I have this head that it's like a handmade little head. You may have, if you saw a lot of my videos, you probably saw me early in the summer pick that up. But I have to ship that out in the morning, and right now, I do not know where it's at. But I'm letting you know that I am definitely on the road to recovery as far as coming back from a hellhole of storage room. So that's what I'm doing, and that leads into why I am starting to reduce what I source. And this is still more stuff that I should have picked up, but it was stuff I just couldn't resist. When you go to auctions, especially live auctions, you get bidding fever. And I say that when a table goes down to less than $10 and they're selling the remainder of the table, and there's money to be made there, sometimes you just can't help but bid on it. So that's where some of this stuff came from. So there's going to be, I will make enough to I put my inventory number in the actual title. Works great. I considered doing that, but I wanted it in a separate in that separate column. You know, my eyes, if I'm in there, I don't know. That probably works great. I just didn't think of it. So, so we're going to go into this. I've kind of combined everything that just piled it all up here. Probably my favorite pickup of the. Hey Shane, thanks for jumping in. My favorite pickup of the entire night was this railroad crossing sign. It's a 4-foot railroad crossing sign, and that should bring anywhere from I'm thinking 125 to 150, and I picked it up for $35. So I if you notice the change in stuff in my background, that's the biggest part. This little thing right here, this is a spoiler to my sales. I don't know if you remember my $2.50 auction pickup last week, but I had 5 of those on it. Right now I have 4, just to give you an idea what it is. I did not even know I had this, so don't think that I'm some guru and know all this awesome stuff to pick up. But for $2.50, I picked up a lot of stuff. And in that, there was a teacup and a saucer. So I took an offer, $20 on that, plus shipping. Any guesses how much this Power Punch, and don't go searching eBay because you're going to see my listing, Power Punch oil supplement designed for improving all motor oils and torque converter fluids. Cushion seals and reduces heat in all motors and automatic transmissions. It did not go that high. It went up to $28, and really in the last 10 minutes. I put them up in auction, and I was surprised it didn't go a little bit more when I saw I had 9 watchers, but I was very excited when it jumped from my $11.50 start all the way up to $28.50 plus shipping. And I've got 4 more cans. So I'll keep you posted on how well the rest of them do, but less than a penny. I mean, I don't know, how do you take $2.58 and divide it by, I mean, I don't even know how many items I had in there, but I guess pick up stuff. Sometimes you're going to find something in a lot of junk. So anyway, I'm going to move on to, I did pick up a clothing rack. They're the big round clothing racks, probably stands up about 5 and it extends higher. I picked it up for $10. It's pretty heavy duty. If I ever do any more flea markets next year, I will. Oh, thanks, Shane. Man cave item. Everything's for sale. I'll throw stuff up on the walls or in the background, but everything is for sale. So I have a revolving man cave. Sold 6 eggs. Red Neckerson says he sold 6 eggs before for $49.99. Was that the golden laying chicken? So this one I probably gave more than I probably should. I'm going to be sliding in and out because I have this whole area packed full of stuff that I picked up yesterday. I try to sort it the best I can. I gave $10 for this guy, and it would have been nicer to have gotten this for $5 to $7. And it has all the quite a few characters. I haven't done an inventory to see what is in here and what isn't. Let's see. It's gonna probably find it hard to. Y'all probably recognize this if you watch movies. And I don't even know how it works. It is battery operated. This is probably, I'm hoping, will bring me really. Hey, TW Holiday, thanks for jumping in. This is the sad. It's from Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Man Tells No Tale, and I want to say it is something Mary. I don't know. I don't know for sure the name of this ship, but honestly, I'm hoping with everything here, not huge profits, but I'm hoping $20 to $30, and I paid $10 for it. So, but it all balances out in the end. When I go to these auctions, I look at the total amount I spent, and if I can get everything back plus, hey, I didn't waste my evening because I had a hell of a lot of fun going there. Okay. Table remnants, toys, models, electronics, etc., etc., etc. This is, I paid for this table, remnants table, I paid $20 for, and we'll just go through it. That's how I started on eBay. I had 161 breeds of chickens and shipped birds and eggs all over the world. That is pretty interesting. I don't know if I would be that well, I wouldn't do live animals. I'm just saying. If you're already in the toy section, check out the Nerf guns. I looked at them at Walmart today, and there was nothing on sale. Of course, I don't go through and scan everything for FBA. In this $20 pile, I have this model. This one doesn't have the plastic on it. So, I think this is the SR-71 spy plane. I've actually watched these take off and land, and it is pretty impressive because they had these Mustangs that ran the runway. I think it was this plane. I'll have to look back and remember. But anyway, still cool. It looks like everything is here. Nothing's punched out of it. It doesn't look like. But of course, I'm going to go through it. Even if I sell it for parts, I'm really only thinking put together that exact model when you're a kid. Let me see how long ago that was. Oh, I was still in school when that model came out. So these are vintage models or well aged, however you want to look at it. Sorry for bumping my screen there. I also had the Monogram Black Widow P61. And again, this one does not have the plastic covering, but the some of it still in the plastic and some of it not. And I'll have to go through here and just to double check and verify that the pieces are there. Otherwise, hopefully somebody will want it just for the parts, and I'll be able to make a few bucks off of it. I heard you're in the market for plastic toy horses. That's it is so funny. I have to tell you guys, and I'm just going to forewarn you now, occasionally the word shit's going to come out of my mouth. And I was on somebody else's channel, and I said I had a ton of shit, and I got chastised for it on my channel in one of my video comments. And if you ever go back and read any of my comments, any of my videos, you'll find the person. Go check her channel out. I don't mind you giving her a view, but BSC, and that's how I feel, and I'm just leave it at that. She had one of the most recent videos was her flying her toy horses to the moon. Here we have the F-82 Twin Mustang by Monogram. Did you put this one together too, TW? Holiday. This is still sealed in plastic, so I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking models. Really, I'm thinking maybe that one, since it's still sealed, maybe 15 to 20. That's what I'm anticipating. And I can sit here and tell you all day how much I'm going to make off of an item, but that doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily make it. Still in the $20 lot, I have this little guy, and I'm just going to open him up. The package is just terrible. This is the talking robot. The talking robot with smoking action, and you can make all jokes you want with the talking robot and smoking action, but his name is Magic Mike. Still in the box. He does look like he may have been played with a time or two, but it looks like you have to replenish the smoking device with a few drops of any light household oil in indicated hole. So I guess you have to put some oil in a hole somewhere and crank that thing on. And this probably doesn't have batteries, and it does not have batteries. It does appear to take maybe 2 C batteries. But I think that's pretty cool, and I think he might bring me around 20 to 25. I think. Conservatively, and I have not decided if I will include the box or not. I mean, it is so roached that I think you might have a collector out there that just wants to that just wants to have one to sit on the shelf. But I'll decide on that later. I did pick up 2 packages of canning jars, but I gave them to the lady that works a snack bar over there. It was her birthday the day before mine, so I said happy birthday. I didn't really want to bring canning jars home because I think we have quite a few anyway, and it's not just something. It's just not something that I want to um, deal with. It looks like an American Pickers find. Frank would have liked that one. He probably would. He would probably like better, and I forgot to grab. I'll have to get that in a minute. But I did have a Mark's Barn. Let me grab that real quick. I mean, it's not anything overly spectacular. Yeah, I just get up and leave my show right in the middle of everything. So, yes, I was hitting on the grandma at the snack bar. Very nice lady. This is a Lazy Day Farms, and it's just the barn itself. And I think I put this on for, I think 30, right around 30. I did not, Cat, but it's cool. All the lithographs on it are in really great shape. You know, it does need to be cleaned up, but this is in this $20 lot as well. That's why I wanted to go ahead and bring it back. Okay, I am all about unique. These, I got 2 old bottles in there too, and I did not list this one just simply because it doesn't have any markings or not, and it does have a chip. I don't know if you can see that right there on the side, but it does not have a door that you can open, Cat. If anybody knows, that's my wife there, and she loves to heckle me during the show. That's one of her favorite pastimes. This one is marked. It's UDCO6A UDCO United Drug Company, I believe. So this one is listed. I think I asked 15 to 20 for that one, and that one's already listed. These need a lot of cleaning up, and I'll probably just go out and hose it down. But this one, I'll probably take the body off and sell it. It's none of them have batteries or anything. I just don't know. This is a Radio Shack, but again, no battery. But little Hummer there, the big one. Let's see. This is a whole box of this that came with it. I do have some of them are going to be. I just have to look them up and see if I can make any of them. They're pretty rough looking. This is a Dodge Ram, and this is probably one of the worst ones. This one I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get much out of unless there's parts on it. This one actually has batteries in it. Looks like this is a little bit more versatile as far as what you can do with it. But I'll show what it looks like there. I know that the bigger one, that I really think with that Humvee, if I can get it cleaned up, I should be able to get probably 30 to 40 if I just decide to sell the body alone. Oh, there's this little this one's not going to be anything. It's yeah, I'm trying to find a brand on this one's kind of cool looking. I almost wonder if this turned, but I will definitely. at a very minimum, I will be. This is a 2011 cash sales Ignite. I have not done any research. I just saw it, and I knew that the Humvee body alone should bring me what I paid for the whole lot. Now, the thing on those, when you're looking at crawler bodies, not all bodies of RC cars are. They're not what you're going to be looking for. What I found, because I've done various sizes, various styles, what I found was trucks or four-wheel drive looking bodies, and the larger the better. Those I think are the more desirable and where you're going to make your money. And you can typically, I think, get on those anywhere from $30 to $50. The Harley Davidson one I sold, I think I sold it for 50, 55, if I remember right. If y'all remember a different price, let me know, because I like to keep honest. And I don't mind y'all keeping me honest. But I'm also hoping that, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 controls. I'm hoping there's some value there as well. And just so you know, I do get even more random stuff. It's a little that's a small grip. I don't even know what that would come off of, or if it even came off of an actual. I guess it's just the bottom part. I don't know, but a little pistol grip of some sort. Try to open this up without cutting myself. A nice fillet knife. It's probably not nice. This is J.M. Martin, Finland. I remember having these when I was a kid, living in southern Missouri. We used to go trout fishing all the time there in Lake Taneycomo, just outside of Branson, Missouri. And I remember we used to fillet us up some trout. Anyway, there's a bad, I don't know what part of the rifle or shotgun is. This isn't in anything at all. This is going to be garbage. As you can probably see, there's something chipped there. And then in a magazine. And it looks, it's pretty small. So I don't even know what that would go to. But anyway, I have it. Some of this stuff is probably going to go in a pile a lot. Going back to local auctions, that's something I will be doing, is utilizing the local auction house more coming forward. And I got a shovel in case I need to dig a latrine when I go out hunting this year. So anyway, I have still one more. I'm trying to think how this all works. Shop light and gun rack. Okay. No, I'm still working on that $20 pile. This vintage Christmas. This should sell. It's not going to be big money. We're talking maybe $8 to $12 for this. This Christmas is starting to sell. I've already sold, I would say, a good amount of it from what I have listed. So if you guys haven't started putting your Christmas stuff out, definitely start doing that, because believe it or not, even though Halloween hasn't even passed, Christmas stuff is already sold. When I say quite a bit, I probably sold 10 items in the last 20, 30 days. I don't know. I'll do a sold video maybe tomorrow. I'm going to play around. There's some shows that I try not to compete with, but because I have limited time, I jump on when I can sometimes. So if y'all shows are some of the ones that I interrupt, I apologize. And the other thing, this may end up being a good I'm just trying to think. I have 2 table remnants here. One was I paid $2.50 for, and so we're going to say $22.50, because I did have 2. We're just going to say $22.50. One of the best things I learned, Rod, don't get niched up. You'll definitely know watching my stuff that I have not niched in anything. And as a matter of fact, I have an anti-niche, and that is clothing and glassware. Even though you'll see me selling them occasionally, those are two things I really try to avoid like the plague. And there's reasons for it. So we're still on, and you'll notice I did change it to 22.50 because I did notice I did have a $2.50 remnant, and I've already showed the models and some electronics were in the $2.50 haul, and in that I also had this shadow box. It almost looks like, this is what's interesting. Oh, it's like one of those. I'll show that to you again. Tried to do it without glare, but I did dabble in a little bit of art. Not that this is like fine art or anything, but I try it. It's hit and miss for me, and it's mainly because I haven't learned enough about it. I'm just reaching everywhere. Hello, Dawn. Is Cat still in here? They like to heckle me together. So I'll just let her know, just in case she needs a heckling partner. That shadow box, yes. Hey, BCP in the house. What is it, like breakfast time over there? In that, and like I said, I bumped it up to 22.50, cover both lots because I had items in on both sides. This I'm gonna have to look at. They may have just pulled it apart. This is a security system, and they may have just pulled it apart to, you know what? It's really odd. And I think this was actually on the 250 table. It almost doesn't look like it's been opened yet. Oh, you know what I bet happened? I mean, just to kind of give you an idea, I'm going to hold this up. There's 4 cameras. All the mounting screws are still in packages. Here's the power cord that goes to the, oh, my chat. Did my chat just die? Oh, never mind. Something timed out. Anyway, it has the mouse and the power cord for the cameras. The wires haven't even been unstrung. This might actually end up being, the reason I thought it probably wasn't much, but because I've dealt with these before, it's just a CCD security cameras, 4-pack. These can be really finicky when you try to install them. So it's got the 4 cameras, all the cables and wires, and it is missing screws that hold this on. Yeah, that pretty much when you buy these units, the security units, they don't come with a hard drive. So if you bought it and not planning on getting the hard drive, you have to make sure you take care of that and install it. I know we use one on our concession stand, and we just put a terabyte drive in there so that we could record video for a period of time before it overwrites itself. So this actually was probably a pretty decent find for this. I mean, it was. I mean, we're talking everything I've showed you so far, and I'm not done yet. 22.50. So I'm gonna probably say I may pull the hard drive out of mine just to test it. Let's see who else I said. Oh, Don, Mary Pelletier, Susie, Arizona. Thank you all for jumping in and joining me this evening. So right there is definitely going to make my 22.50 back. And that, I mean, most of this, I'm going to pull that off that because I don't want to set that on top of anything with the. It'll all make up for what I overcharged or overpaid for the Pirates of the Caribbean ship. You know, granted, I'm going to make profit off of that, but not as much as I probably should have. Just making sure that oh, I, I got this toolbox. This isn't anything overly spectacular. It does have a spot where you can plug in your phone or whatever, probably play through the speakers. Nothing overly spectacular. Sound effects toolbox. That's what it's called. Made in China. But and it has a broken antenna. Oh, actually, it just came unscrewed. But again, it came with a lot. There's screw bits and stuff for your power drill. There's probably about 10 or 15 of those in there. But I mean, it came loaded with tools. Nothing here is overly spectacular, but it's stuff that I can use. And I needed a new toolbox anyway with a handle, little ratchet screwdriver. I mean, this stuff is just stuff that you can use around the house. Little needle nose pliers, 2 pair. What? A mini sock ratchet. Man, this is like Christmas. An old rusty mini pair of vice grips. Maybe, you know, for those of you that do not use tools that often, these are vice grips. And you say that like it's fun. You hear me say that and think it might be funny, but you know, my daughter could be watching and she could learn something too. There's needle nose pliers with a cutter right here. The one thing about this, you don't want to get your fingers caught on any part of it. Here's another even smaller pair of pliers. This is a socket or ratchet. And somebody can tell me, let me look at those. Oh, those blades are roached. You won't be, oh, you can see daylight in that blade. Those are pretty useful. But in the next compartment over, I have everybody needs a good size crescent wrench. And if the other needle nose weren't, oh, those are pretty bad too. You can tell cheaper tools because when you go to close after using your pliers occasionally, you close them and they're crooked like that. But yeah, this is all still part of the $22.50 two-table haul. Some sockets. There's a rubber mallet, a hammer, and everybody needs a good long extension and an old soldering iron. So yeah, I was pretty surprised when I actually got this out. Well, when I picked it up and it was heavy, and I was like, well, there's stuff in there. That's even a better deal than I thought. So toolbox, and the only other thing, I wish this was in better condition because this box alone would probably be worth about $20-25. Just one of the perks of a reselling, you get to keep the cool stuff. And you know, right now I'm to the point where I'm trying to get rid of a lot of cool stuff. So if you think any of my stuff is cool, let me know, and I have no problem giving you the link to my store and show you where you can buy some of it. This is made from Walton Products Inc., manufacturers of tackle, tool, utility boxes, and tool chests, straight out of Union, Illinois. It has issues because the clasp, I mean, I'm sure you can see it from there, a little rusty. And I mean, it's still pretty cool. Look at that magic happening there. You open it up and everything just like magically pops open. I'll probably lock some of this fishing stuff up. I don't go fishing as much as I can. I think probably, actually that's a plastic plug. It's not going to bring me much value, not like the other fishing stuff I had. There's just a couple spinner baits, different miscellaneous lures and spoons in here. But I may actually, I don't know, I may actually just take this to the auction house. That's what I plan on doing with some of this. I haven't experimented with taking stuff to auction. I do know that they charge a pretty penny as far as fees when you take stuff to auction. So just something to keep in mind if you do think about doing it. Erase any emotions to any of the items you're taking to an auction, and know you're going to the percentage cut that the auction house is going to take, and just be prepared for that because that's part of it. I mean, we cannot sell anything anywhere, unless you're, except with the exception of Facebook and stuff, where it's not going to cost you anything. And even then, you're a lot of time when you're selling on the local Facebook groups and Facebook Marketplace, Let Go, OfferUp, um, you're spending time, and oftentimes for me, it's more time going through those free routes than and less of a headache than doing it online like I do. I don't mind paying eBay's percentage. I know it's a hell of a lot cheaper than a brick and mortar, and I'm getting a hell of a lot more exposure. So that's my 2 cents on that. The only other thing, part of that lot, let me just, oh, it just keeps going on and on and on. I'll say that for a minute because that's going to be for me. I'm going to tinker with that. As y'all know, I'm a collector of what? Consoles. I talk about every week all the Wii's and PlayStations that I have. But in that lot was a PS2. You hear the high pitch too. You have a high pitch rattling going on here. I might have, do you still hear it? I thought I had a cricket. Hey, kids, deals, and more. Thanks for jumping in. I missed you earlier. Do you still hear it? Because it might have just been because I'm moving around so much that I kicked my desk, and let me know if you're still hearing it, and I'll have to figure out what it was. Now I'm a little bit paranoid about what I'm kicking around, and hopefully it's not my chair. I wonder what is causing it. I literally have nothing going on in here except for my computer. And I don't think, let me turn my mic around. More when I talk. Do you want me to talk lighter? Okay, I almost want to turn my volume up on my stream just to see if I still hear it, or if I hear it on my end. I'm curious what it sounds like. Hopefully this doesn't play back or cause an echo. Okay. Is that better? Is that better? Oh. Oh. There is literally nothing going on in here. There's literally nothing going on in here. Maybe it's a ghost. Maybe it's a ghost. Maybe it's a ghost. I can hear it. I mean, I turn my volume up. I can hear it. I mean, I turn my volume up. I can hear it. I mean, I turn my... Okay, I apologize for that. I have no idea what could even be causing it. So I will have to. I'll have to work on that later. try to get through this. If it gets too annoying, oh, interesting, a photo. Um, the only other thing I have in, well, I have two more things in that lot, just some random train stuff. Not much value in trains here. You know, there might be, maybe I can let that go for $5 or $10. I've tried train items before. There's another part of a little house. That's another thing I learned. It's just not really my gig. So definitely not tracks. It's something that you have to know what you're doing before you get into. And I think that's actually, there's some stuff in here that's gold-plated pins. I think that's connectors for your track. I've got a bunch of those. Those are $1.10 brand new. Anyway, some random train stuff. Hey, John. Yes, I know I have a continued chirping in my stream. I have no idea what it is, and I'll have to see if maybe it's a YouTube. I'm gonna blame it on YouTube. That's what I'm gonna do. I saw a shadow man. You know what? When we first moved in here, I would come over here and I would be setting stuff up, and I would swear I heard this, kept hearing this tapping, and then I realized it was just the door was just my movement because it was pretty empty. My movement was causing the door, but it still made me a little eerie. It was a little eerie being in here by myself. When you're by yourself in the dark, your mind starts to play tricks on you. And not that I'm scared of the dark or anything, but I have a cabbage smasher. If you don't know what those are, I highly recommend looking into getting one for personal home protection. They're about this long and about that big around, and they would put a world of hurt on somebody's head if you came swinging. I mean, I'm gonna barely get this. If this is what I think it is, oh, I also got this. You'll never be able to see it, but one of those little crystal-like things. This will go donated. I haven't looked close enough, but I'm gonna have to put this whole box together. But I believe it's a Cars, the movie, Disney Pixar Cars. It is a track. It has all the little car things. This brand new, I believe, on eBay is listing out at about $160, $170. Happy employees want to do good. Unhappy employees could care less. I have an awesome lady that works part-time. She is amazing. Wish I could get her full-time. I have not even considered hiring anybody. I get embarrassed when Kat comes down to look at my room. That was another driver for me to Rusty's. So this is what I think it is, and I'm really hopeful if everything is here. I'm really hopeful anywhere from $60 to $80, but that'll be something I'll be playing with this. Shut up! I mean, there's other miscellaneous stuff down here too. But yeah, most of this in here is all the track that goes with it. Is that Lightning McQueen? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Look at there. What? So honestly, I'm really hoping that everything's there. If not, I'm going to be sad. Toe Mater, and I didn't see Toe Mater in there. That was the sheriff. I can't remember the sheriff's name in the movie. I love the movie. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to sit here and dig until I don't know why I'd have two sheriffs in there, but these all run along the track. So that was it for the $22.50 I spent on those two lots. Table remnant lots, I'm telling you, don't be afraid to buy what looks to be crap for, $2 to $5, $10 even 20 for the one lot. I'm definitely going to kill it on what I invested in there. And you know what? You're going to have to deal with junk, and you're going to have to figure out how to what you're going to do with that. I mean, it's not everything that I pick up is going to make me money. I mean, this was on one of my table lots last week. It's a little birdhouse. It's cool. It's got holes up here. This is going to go hanging outside. That's what I want to do with that. I mean, there might be a market for gourd birdhouses, but that proves my point. That little crystal thing. I mean, this without the light base, I don't know if I would be able to. It's upside down, actually. It should go like that. Most of these, I think, sit on a light base. So the light shines up through it and illuminates. But you're going to come across stuff in these lots that you're not going to sell, or that you're not even going to want to deal with. So be prepared for that if you guys are hitting live auctions, especially if you haven't done it before. Also, the first time you go, I would almost recommend not bidding on a lot, just because you're going to get caught up in it. And if you don't understand the bidding process fully, the paperweight sale, I'll look into that. I might list it for Mary says somebody needs that. That is not a need item. I don't know. I would say that would be more of a one item. Hello, MK Frog. A lot of people, if you guys haven't checked any of them out, make sure to check their names on the side. You can move over their names on I think it's on the right-hand side of the screen. Hit that, the three buttons, and you can go to their channels. And these are all great people. If you guys want to go ahead and say me, if you have a channel out there and you like it, not that my view count is ever that high, but if somebody's watching it later, I'd like to be able to pay it forward and have people come over to your channel. And I know I see quite a few of them that I follow on Instagram as well. So that was, but yeah, the $22.50 definitely going to make my money back. I'm definitely going to have some crap that I have to get rid of. So I'm just saying, be prepared that not everything that you bring home from the auction house, because once you bid on it, it's yours. You do have to clear it off the property, but you're going to get it home. And there's going to be some days you're going to be like, why the heck did I just buy that? But just some auction advice from me to you. I've got a couple more things. I talked to you about the railroad sign. For those of you that did not weren't here in the beginning, I paid $35 for that. It's a 4-foot railroad sign. Check the comps. I'm really hoping between 125 and 150. I did pick up a projector. This one I do not know if it works, but it'll be fun to play with. This one I gave $10 for. It says HD TV ready. I mean, I'm sure it's just an off-brand matrix, but I always wanted to have a projector. You can tell it's not overly well. It does have HDMI ports on it. The only thing I did not have the cord for it. It's just a standard. It looks like I have computer cords that should fit that. So it came with the remote. And there's stuff sitting on it that I don't even know if it goes to it. So we're just going to say, it looks like, there's really nowhere that these would screw into. But it was in the pile next to it, so I'm going to go ahead and say that it does go with it. But $10 for this projector. Hopefully it works. Popular piggy. Yeah, auctions is how I leave 3 storage sheds full, or how I have 3 storage sheds. Mike is, I box it up and bring it straight. That's the crazy card. Bring it straight back out of the out to the auction. You know, that's what I know somebody that actually does that, and I just have not done it yet. I went with this in mind that and this week. Oh, bonus! You guys didn't see this 8 gig or 8 megabyte memory card for the PlayStation stuck in the back. Hell, that was almost worth the money right there. So projector was $10, and if Kat was in here, if she's still in the chat, she would probably be able to guess. I really do not have this thing for dolls. I just know that they do sell these. I just sold my big Raggedy Ann and Andy's. I think I took $35, $40 for the pair, which I was glad to get rid of them. I've been holding on to those for about a year, but I thought, you know what? I tried the big Raggedy Anns. I probably won't sell them again, but I haven't tried the small ones. So most of these aren't going to be labeled, but this one's probably a, yeah, I think this one's a handmade. Somebody actually was trying to get 2250 at a antique mall, but this one's all embroidered, which is something I haven't had yet. This one has plastic eyes. This is Andy, and I did look for tags. So with the plastic eyes, it's almost a dead giveaway that it is probably, I don't know. It looks pretty hand stitched to me. Oh, you know what? This poor guy broke his arm, and it was re-sewn on. That's what that one is. So that will definitely have to be put in the listing. This one's filthy. I don't know. Would you guys wash these things? This was actually, I mean, I can't tell for sure. It said, and it has a message on the back to Scylla with love, Barb, 1997. So that might actually be something that somebody made, handmade back in 1997. It sure looks a lot older than 97. But anyway, there's that one. Here's another smaller Andy. I mean, if I can get, oh, what I paid for these, $7.50, believe it or not. They're about to auction. Here's the thing, the way they do these auctions, they do them by the table. By the time it got down to these, and it was really the only thing on there that I really wanted. The last, it was like anybody wants it for anything off the table, $7.50. Well, he had a broken arm. Give me a break, Don. But so the only thing I thought was really worth anything were the dolls, and for $7.50, I mean honestly, $15 to $20. I think probably closer to the 15. I mean, I'm sorry, 10 to $20. I think on these, and maybe some of them a little bit less. But he's wearing corduroys. And like I said, embroidered. I think that these might be handmade. I don't know. I didn't find tags on any of them. Here's a little mini. What I know. What's with all the dolls? You notice the one back here. They're listed. It's not like I'm keeping them and talking to them late at night. And then this one. I tell you, I know about that movie Annabelle. And I'm going to be nice to Raggedy Ann and Andy all that I can because I don't want that happening to me. You locked them up? You know what? I might just do that. I just, because I do need, I'm trying to work on, okay, that was everything that I had. I've been really utilizing auctions a lot lately. And hey, Easy Pickens, thanks for jumping in. Knowing that I'm not like the lures, for instance, I showed a couple last week before, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I picked up that box of lures or fishing stuff for $8, and all the lures I started about $3 at auction. I figured, what the heck, because I'm trying to experiment. You know what? I don't. I get to the point. If I pay $8 for something, if I can let 10 of those go in 7 days for $3 even, 8 to 30 in 3 days, less fees, and of course, 8 to 30 in 7 days. That's hell of a investment. So I'm not going to go through each lure and say, okay, well, that one is going to it's got comps of $10. This one's got comps of 8. I was just really wanting to turn it into profit. So I put them out there at 3. I had quite a few that just went for $3, and I had a couple that went as far as $28. The reels that were in there, I think I got I want to say somewhere between $20 to $30 on each of those reels. So the reels alone, I one of the reels alone, I made my $8 back. So if anything that is bringing me $3 in 7 days is $3 of free money. So that's kind of how my mentality. I've bounced back and forth on this over the last year and a half. Is do I try to only source items that's going to give me a profit of, say, $20 to $30 or more, or because that's what I thought. I said when I first started, I was just buying anything and everything, and I have a lot of dead inventory sitting out there that I need to get rid of. But it's because I wasn't sourcing smartly. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to spend a little bit more money to make a larger profit. And I'm only going to be looking for things within a certain range. And right now, I'm kind of turning it around. Finally started utilizing auctions, which I never did before. Everything before was buy it now. So I started utilizing auctions in the last 2 or 3 months, and I'm kind of digging it. I've got a lot of stuff that have been on auction like 4 or 5 weeks now that I'm probably going to. I have to try something new. So whether it be lotting the stuff up and just getting rid of it that way, or just putting it at buy it now, letting it sit. But all the items I'm flipping through the auction style listing is I'm really loving it, and it's really boosted up my sales overall. The only thing that I learned that your 250 free auctions, I covered this in a previous video, your 250 free auctions on a store isn't necessarily 250 free items. They only count for the category that is listed for those free auctions. I think now, and I don't know if it revolves, because I just started paying attention to it. Right now it's collectibles and fashion, which right now it's this collection. Are you guys seeing a death spiral? Is a video now? Man, that's squeaking. I don't know what the heck that. Make sure the stream looks and sounds good. Is the video messing up? Just sold a sticker for $32.75. Good job, Glenn. Okay, I'm gonna have to find out when the best time for me to be streaming, or you know what? I'm gonna run a cable from the modem upstairs so I can have a dedicated line just for. I'm in the basement, and I'm wondering if that is the reason. I mean, it's literally right over there upstairs, though. So I'm going to work on that going forward, and hopefully get this fixed. I got a text. No, it wasn't. Oh, Cat saying I'm not online anymore. Anyway, if anybody's still out there, I will work on getting the. Oh, I'm good now. It looks like I'm going to be bouncing on and off. I guess I will be doing a what sold video. I don't know, tomorrow or Saturday sometime, But just to kind of give you an idea, people lost Steve and Steph as friends well over that. Who are?
You're not online.
I'm bouncing in and out, and I'm getting.
You said you're bouncing in and out, Mom.
I don't even know what that was. I must have missed something. Anyway, I'll try to fix the internet, and hopefully, the some of the things that I want you to take from this is don't be afraid to pick up odd things because and look at table lots when nobody else is bidding on something. Even if it's $5, you're going to find something in that pile. If nobody else, you don't have any other takers. But try out live auctions if you haven't sourced. The and look at local online auctions as well, and because they're a great place to source. That's where I do primarily most of my sourcing is online auctions and the live auctions. And the live auctions they have them weekly here, and they're indoors, so they pretty much go year round. It's up here we have shorter summers because of the cold, so you have to find other places to source. But that is it for tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you, as always, jumping in. I have to tell you, I have done a stream where nobody showed up, and that's because I did it in private without even knowing. And I probably talked for a good hour, and I was so down because I thought, man, I should have at least one person jump in and watch. So it is very helpful, and it makes this a lot more fun whenever I have people jumping in the chat and participating. Oh wow! Anyway, I am going to I'll have to take that offline. I will catch y'all next time, and yeah, good night. Peace out.